Are you going to take a chance to spin the key? Showtime, folks. Well, guys, a couple days ago, I caught an early screening of The Monkey. Now, if you haven't heard about The Monkey, it's going to be the newest directed film by Osgood Perkins. Now, Osgood Perkins has been around for a little bit, but he mainly caught my attention most recently for Longlegs, which was a film that I enjoyed personally. I really liked what he did there, and it kind of put him on the map for me, and I wanted to see what was going on with The Monkey. And I saw the trailer for The Monkey, or the teaser, pretty early on, back when it was literally just a clip of the monkey and then just says the title card. And I was intrigued. So when this movie started, getting a little bit more publicity and it started to kind of creep, I was looking out for a early screening, and I got a hold of one, or I got to go watch one. And that's why we're here. So The Monkey revolves around a set of twin brothers who are left a mysterious monkey from their father. It is a toy monkey that decides it wants to play a little tune every time that you turn the key. However, every time you turn the key, that monkey makes a decision to eliminate somebody, and you do not know what it's going to do or how it's going to do it. And that is essentially the plot of the movie. Now, like I said, going into this movie, I was excited. I liked Osgood Perkins's Longlegs, and that was something that I was excited about. And then I didn't know what to expect with The Monkey. And guys, I don't know how to really describe The Monkey, but it was interesting for sure. So getting into the perks of this movie, or the pros, I suppose, I really liked the premise. The Monkey really is supposed to be kind of more like a horror comedy than it is horror. I mean, I enjoyed that aspect of it. Maybe it's becoming a little bit of a trope where we got to throw a lot of comedy into horror movies, but The Monkey is comedic in the sense that it has over-the-top violence that is just so over-the-top that it's hilarious. It's just, you have interesting, for lack of a better term, and to make it YouTube-friendly, eliminations. They're very over-the-top violent, but they're very, very comedically done. It's just so over the top that it makes it funny. And that's something that I enjoyed of this film. It was kind of a dark sense of humor, and it was done well. That's something I liked. Another thing I liked about this movie, a pro, is the performances all around are pretty solid. There's a lot of areas where you need that kind of deadpan humor, and it works for me. Everybody involved with this film does a pretty decent job, and you can tell the quirkiness of the script just based on how the people are delivering their lines, and I really enjoyed that. Another pro I had for this movie is those eliminations. Some of them are very creative. Now, what they do with the monkey is they turn the key and then the tension builds, because as soon as he starts playing his little tune, starts with his little drum, that something crazy is about to happen, and they really, really want you to feel that tension. And I think that's something that's done very well by Osgood Perkins in his direction, is that you're looking at the monkey not so much as in fear, but in wonder of what he's gonna do next. There's certain eliminations that come very, very unexpected, and there's other ones where it's just so outlandish that you have no idea, so random. And I think that gets into some of what the movie is trying to say, the randomness of death, and how it just kind of affects everyone. And by turning the key, you don't necessarily know what's going to happen, but somebody will go. There are lines of dialogue that tie into this in the movie, and I really enjoy that. It does something. It kind of has its little subliminal message in there, and it's not beating you over the head with it. It's just kind of there. I know one of my critiques in an earlier film was that they kind of just serve you the message on a silver platter rather than letting you think about it a little bit. And I think The Monkey does something subtle, and if you're looking for it, you'll find it. And if you're not looking for it, then it's just an over-the-top horror movie comedy. Another thing I think that needs to be noted are the cuts. Now, I did watch an interview with Osgood Perkins. It was a Q&A after the early screening, and he did describe it, and it was something that I saw very apparent in the movie, is the use of cuts for comedic effect in this movie. You don't really get to see a lot of pros when it comes to technical aspects in more recent years, at least, I think. You really got to be looking for those. And in The Monkey, the use of cuts for comedic effect was very, very effective, and I really enjoyed that about this film. Getting into the cons, there is a sibling dynamic here of an estranged kind of brotherhood that goes on, and I think it was a little weak. There are times where I'm just kind of wanting to see where the monkey is. I want to know what the monkey's going to do next. And there's like dead areas of where the monkey is not present, and you're just kind of involved with these two characters, or the characters themselves. And I really wasn't attached to that part of the story too much. It wasn't bad. It was just something that I was like, oh, I'm here to see the monkey. Let me see more of the monkey. And I'm sure a lot of casual horror fans are going to want to do that as well. So I really wasn't too attached with the story of the brothers or anything like that. And maybe that's by design, but I personally just thought that it could have been touched on a little bit more, but I liked it nonetheless. It's not an extreme negative. It was just something that should be noted. And I guess this ties into that negative, is the dry spells without the monkey. Now, you know he's there. It's ever present. The film itself is titled The Monkey. And once he comes in with the bang, you kind of want to see more of him and more of what's going to happen. Granted, every time he does show up on screen, something crazy happens and you're kind of waiting to see what he's going to do next. But when there's those dry spells, you can feel the absence pretty heavily, and that's something that needs to be touched on. Not necessarily detrimental to the movie or anything like that, but it is something that should be noted. But getting into my final thoughts and my score of this movie, what I like about The Monkey is that there's enough unique in there that it is Osgood Perkins' film, you know, and it still ties into the short story that is Stephen King's. It still feels like a Stephen King film. If you're familiar with any of other Stephen King adaptations, it still has that feel to it, and that's something that I enjoyed, but it's also unique in the sense that Osgood Perkins threw in a lot of things in there that are just darkly comedic and totally his, and I really liked that about the movie. So what would I say about The Monkey? I think I would honestly give The Monkey something that I was looking forward to for this year. I think I'd give it a solid 3.5 out of 5. It's not perfect. There are things that are missing, but it's not a disappointment. It was something that I enjoyed watching. It's a little better than average. I think a lot of people, I could see it getting a cult following for sure. It has like darkly comedic moments that worked for me that are just outlandish, but they work. And the character of the monkey, the menacing kind of figure of that monkey just playing that little tune, it's a really good character. A good, you know, combination to all the dolls or anything like that we have. I could definitely see the monkey itself being an iconic piece of horror fandom for sure. But what did you guys think of The Monkey? Are you planning on checking it out? Did you already see an early screening and agree with what I'm saying? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you like and share this video, or if you want to see more of good old Chuco, consider subscribing, because it helps me keep making these videos, and I like talking movies with all of you. It's always a good time. But, that's if you want to. But guys, if you're ever playing with a wind-up monkey that your dad left you in an attic somewhere, always remember something your friend Chuco used to tell you, and that's